General knowledge. Air brakes. Test 1. Use of the air brakes on a long, steep downgrade is only a supplement to A. The use of the front brakes. B. The use of the hand valve. C. The braking effect of the engine. D. The use of the spring brakes. The correct answer is C. The braking effect of the engine. Explanation. Your main braking force on a hill should be the engine low gear. Surface brakes are just for small adjustments. How do you check the slack adjusters on your vehicle? A. Use a ruler to measure the push rod movement when brakes are released. B. Kick the tires. C. Press the brake pedal as hard as you can. D. Listen for air leaks. The correct answer is A. Use a ruler to measure the push rod movement when brakes are released. Explanation. With the parking brakes released, pull hard on each slack adjuster. It should not move more than 1 inch. The application pressure gauge shows much air pressure you A. Have in the air tanks. B. Are applying to the brakes. C. Need to stop the vehicle. D. Have lost due to leaks. The correct answer is B. Are applying to the brakes. Explanation. This gauge tells you exactly how much pressure you are applying to the brakes. Note, not all vehicles have this. If your truck or bus has dual parking control valves, you can use pressure from a separate tank to A. Release the spring brakes to move a short distance. B. Apply more braking power. C. Charge the air conditioner. D. Blow the air horn. The correct answer is A. Release the spring brakes to move a short distance. Explanation. This allows you to release the spring brakes to move the vehicle in an emergency. The S-cam forces the brake shoes away from one another and presses them against. A. The axle. B. The inside of the brake drum. C. The tire. D. The slack adjuster. The correct answer is B. The inside of the brake drum. Explanation. The S-cam forces the brake shoes against the inside of the brake drum to stop the vehicle. How often should you drain air tanks if your vehicle does not have automatic air tank drains? A. Once a week. B. Every month. C. At the end of each working day. D. Every oil change. The correct answer is C. At the end of each working day. Explanation. You should drain the air tanks at the end of each working day to remove moisture and oil. Which of these is not a part of the air brake system? A. Air compressor. B. Brake drum. C. Radiator. D. Slack adjuster. The correct answer is C. Radiator. Explanation. The radiator is part of the cooling system, not the air brake system. vehicles with air brakes must have? A. At least air compressors. B. An air pressure gauge to show pressure in the tanks. C. Hydraulic backup brakes. D. A blue warning light. The correct answer is B. An air pressure gauge to show pressure in the tanks. Explanation: all air-braked vehicles must have a supply pressure gauge. What does the ABS anti-lock brake system do? A. It shortens stopping distance on dry roads. B. It helps you keep steering control during hard braking. C. It increases braking power. D. It prevents the tires from getting hot. The correct answer is B. It helps you keep steering control during hard braking. Explanation: ABS prevents wheel lockup, allowing you to maintain steering control while braking. The parking brake control knob will pop out close automatically when air pressure drops too. A. 100 to 120 psi. B. 60 to 80 psi. C. 20 to 45 psi. D. 10 psi. The correct answer is C. 20 to 45 psi. Explanation: the parking brake valve typically pops out when pressure falls between 20 and 45 psi, applying the spring brakes. Never push the brake pedal down when the spring brakes are on. Why? A. It will damage the engine. B. The brakes could be damaged by the combined forces. C. It will drain the battery. D. It will cause the truck to skid. The correct answer is B. The brakes could be damaged by the combined forces. Explanation: the force of the spring brakes plus the air pressure from the pedal can damage the brakes and slack adjusters. If the low air pressure warning comes on while you are driving, what should you do? A. Drive to the next service station. B. Stop and safely park your vehicle as soon as possible. C. Wait for the red light to go off. D. Turn on the hazard lights and keep driving. The correct answer is B. Stop and safely park your vehicle as soon as possible. Explanation: loss of air pressure can lead to emergency spring brake activation. You must stop safely immediately. To test the air leakage rate, you should A. Turn off the engine, release the parking brake, and time the air pressure drop. B. Leave the engine running and press the brake pedal. C. Drive at 50 miles per hour and brake hard. D. Listen for whistling sounds while driving. The correct answer is A. Turn off the engine, release the parking brake, and time the air pressure drop. Explanation: with the engine off and brakes released, pressure should not drop more than to psi-minute single vehicle. When the engine is at operating RPM, the pressure should build from 85 to 100 psi within A. 45 seconds. B. 2 minutes. C. 3 minutes. D. 5 minutes. The correct answer is 45 seconds. Explanation. In dual air systems, pressure buildup from 85 to 100 psi should take 45 seconds or less. Front brake limiting valves on older trucks were used to A. Reduce the chance of the front wheels skidding on slippery surfaces. B. Make the brakes last longer. C. Limit the speed of the vehicle. D. Save air pressure. The correct answer is A. Reduce the chance of the front wheels skidding on slippery surfaces. Explanation. They reduced air pressure to the front brakes by 50% in the slippery setting. Excessive heat caused by using your brakes too often can cause A. Brake fade or failure. B. The tires to catch fire. C. The air compressor to fail. D. The modulation valve to stick. The correct answer is A. Brake fade or failure. Explanation. Brake fade happens when heat causes the chemical changes in the brake lining, reducing friction. The proper method of braking when going down a long, steep grade is A. Fanning the brakes. B. Snapping apply brakes to slow down 5 miles per hour below safe speed, then release. C. Light, steady pressure. D. Using the parking brake. The correct answer is B. Snapping apply brakes to slow down 5 miles per hour below safe speed, then release. Explanation. Snap braking involves applying the brakes hard enough to feel a slowdown, then releasing to let them cool. If your vehicle has an alcohol evaporator, checking and filling the alcohol level is part of A. The monthly maintenance. B. The daily walk-around inspection. C. The annual inspection. D. Winter preparation only. The correct answer is B. The daily walk-around inspection. Explanation. It must be checked daily during cold weather operations. The brake system that applies and releases the brakes when the driver uses the brake pedal is the A. Emergency brake system. B. Service brake system. C. Parking brake system. D. Spring brake system. The correct answer is B. Service brake system. Explanation. The service brake system applies the brakes during normal driving. Before driving a vehicle, you should test the low-pressure warning signal. To do this, A. Shut the engine off and pump the brake pedal to lower the pressure. B. Drive fast and brake hard. C. Drain the air tanks manually. D. Unplug the compressor. The correct answer is A. Shut the engine off and pump the brake pedal to lower the pressure. Explanation. With the engine off and ignition on, pump the brakes. The alarm must sound before pressure drops to 60 psi. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and leave a comment. Download our app and keep studying on the go. Scan the QR code to get started.